So now I'm just going to demonstrate how to use grid areas. So we're just going to go grid template areas. So I want this to be the header. I want this to be the main. I want this to be the sidebar. I want this to be the footer. So I'm going to go header. Now notice that we have 4 columns. So I'm just going to go header again. I have to use the next line key, right, to declare a new set of grid areas. So I'm going to go main, then the final column, I want it to be the aside. Then I'm going to go enter. Then I'm going to go sidebar. Sidebar. Actually, it should be footer. So if I go back to my picture here, I'm just going to go to the picture here. So header, main, aside, footer, like so. Now we have to just assign these towards these grid areas. So how do we accomplish this? I just go to my item 1. Item 1, I just go grid area. Of course, I have to use the semantic assignment. And I said this was header. And then for item 2, I said grid area. What did I say this was? I believe this was main. I just have to go back to check. And yeah, we have main. And then item 3, I just go grid area. Make this aside. Item 4, I go grid area. And I make it footer like this. And then okay, so there's probably syntax error here that exists. It's probably because I did not put a semicolon. There we go. I didn't put a semicolon. So once you've declared your grid areas, make sure you put a semicolon. Otherwise, there's a syntax error. There we go. So there we have our header, we have our main, we have our aside, we have our footer. Certainly, we can edit these guys. Instead of item 1, I could just say header. Then I could just go main, aside, and then footer. So refresh. There we go. So I have my header, my main, my aside, my footer. Seems a bit squished, and perhaps I need some gap. So I can just go grid gap. If you recall from our previous lectures, I just go gap here, and gap must be the container. So I can just get gap of 5 pixels to give it some more space. So that I want this to be much bigger. So I can just go, well, it has a max height of 100 pixels. Actually, let me go grid template rows. Make the second row perhaps 4 times as big as the first and the last row. So grid template rows, 1FR, 4FR, and then 1FR. There we go. So now if I refresh, it should work. However, there's a bit of an issue here. The issue here is that I'm overwriting. I've already written grid template rows here. So it just overwrites it back to 1FR, 1FR, 1FR. So I actually have to edit this line instead of rewriting at the top, otherwise it overwrites. So there we go. So it's much bigger now. We notice that there's a blank space here. That's probably because I put a limiting style, namely the max height here. The max height here is 100 pixels. How about I make it 500 pixels, just so at maximum it goes up to 500 pixels instead of just stopping at what were 100 pixels previously. And there you go. Notice that it's a bit squished here. What if I wanted to make this container much bigger? Say I wanted to make the 80% of the viewer height. So I can just go to the container. And here I want to set the height to 80 of the viewer height, to 80 VH. So there we go. So now it resembles more of our picture here that we had. There we go, header, main, aside, footer. And header, main, aside, footer in the following way. So that's how grid template areas or grid areas work here. So thank you very much.